As NATO arms Ukraine with ever longer-range missiles, is Vladimir Putin now throwing a new curveball onto the battlefield, hoping fresh armor upgrades can blunt Kyiv's drone and rocket edge? Is Russia unveiling a so-called drone killer tank to counter Ukraine's FPV swarms, betting that new active protection tech can shield its armor from cheap exploding quadcopters? Could this new deadly shield on Russian tanks really render Volodymyr Zelensky's frontline drones useless, or will Ukraine's operators just adapt and find fresh ways to strike? Missiles, rockets, FPVs. Does Russia now believe its upgraded T-72B3A can fight them all at once, turning a Cold War design into a modern anti-drone brawler? Amid a sharp rise in Ukrainian UAV attacks, reports say Russia has quietly pushed newly upgraded tanks onto the front lines, hoping technology can plug mounting battlefield losses. Russian troops are now set to begin using T-72B3A tanks fitted with updated Arena-M active protection complexes, turning aging armor into testbeds for anti-drone defenses. Tank crews are undergoing special training before these drone killer vehicles enter active combat operations, learning how to fight while trusting sensors and interceptors to shield them. The T-72B3A's biggest upgrade is its new Arena-M active protection system, which sits on the turret like a high-tech shield ready to swat threats out of the sky. Russian sources claim the system can counter incoming missiles, shells, and attack drones, firing its own interceptors before enemy munitions can slam into the tank. The new variant is expected to support assault groups pushing against fortified Ukrainian positions, acting as a protected spearhead in some of the war's toughest sectors. The T-72B3A is the latest frontline variant of Russia's workhorse T-72, updated to survive in a battlefield saturated with drones and precision weapons. It carries the Arena-M active protection system, a defensive ring designed to destroy threats before they ever touch the armor. Doppler radar sensors constantly scan for incoming threats, tracking fast-moving rockets and FPV drones in real time. 12 interceptor launchers mounted around the turret can fire small defensive charges, creating a lethal wall of fragments against approaching munitions. On paper, the suite is built to counter anti-tank missiles, battlefield rockets, and FPV drones, giving crews a fighting chance against attacks from above and the sides. The tank is configured for assault operations, meant to push forward under fire rather than sit back in purely defensive roles. The design builds on the older T-72B3 modernization package, layering new protection onto previous upgrades in firepower and electronics. Russian experts now admit FPV drones have become the biggest single threat to modern battle tanks, chewing through armor in ways artillery once did. The Arena-M upgrade is designed to save both the tank and its crew during active combat, trading extra hardware for higher chance of surviving repeated attacks. The base system is claimed to intercept threats moving at up to 1,000 meters per second, fast enough to challenge many common anti-tank weapons. Russian defense giant Rostik says nearly 200 changes have been made to the T-72 during the Ukraine war, turning battlefield lessons into rapid-fire tweaks. These upgrades have reportedly boosted the tank's firepower, mobility, and protection together, trying to keep an old design relevant in a drone-dominated fight. The T-72B3A is expected to remain a key support platform on Ukraine's front lines, backing newer vehicles and infantry as Russia digs in for a long war. All of this comes as NATO opens the door to more long-range air power for Ukraine, ensuring that every new Russian upgrade will quickly be tested under real fire. Sweden's defense minister confirmed that Ukraine may use Meteor missiles against targets inside Russia, a decision that markedly broadens Kyiv's aerial engagement envelope and raises strategic and political stakes. When asked directly whether Kyiv could strike into Russia with Meteor missiles, Defense Minister Johnson answered simply and decisively, "Of course," a concise reply that carried outsized diplomatic weight. Ukraine is slated to receive long-range Meteor missiles for integration on Gripen fighter jets, an upgrade that will extend the aircraft's reach and alter air defense and air combat calculations in the theater. The Meteor is a beyond visual range air-to-air missile with a declared minimum operational range exceeding 120 kilometers, designed to engage targets at distances well beyond short-range intercepts. Analysts estimate Meteor's maximum engagement envelope at roughly 200 kilometers, giving aircraft equipped with it a substantially wider reach to detect and engage adversary platforms before those platforms can effectively respond. Produced by European defense firm MBDA and built for modern combat fleets, the Meteor combines advanced aerodynamics with robust seekers to meet contemporary air-to-air threats. Its adjustable ramjet propulsion system allows the missile to sustain high speeds and energy over long distances, improving the probability of intercept against highly maneuvering targets during the terminal phase. Fielding Meteor missiles reduces reaction time for opposing warplanes by extending the engagement window and forcing adversaries to operate further from contested airspace, thereby increasing the likelihood Kyiv can deter or neutralize incoming threats. Poland's defense minister said Warsaw will collaborate closely with Ukraine to support the production and deployment of Patriot PAC-3 missiles, offering technical assistance, training, and logistical coordination as needed. That announcement followed public remarks by former President Trump that Ukraine would receive a license to manufacture Patriot missiles, a claim that prompted immediate diplomatic and technical follow-ups among allies. Poland warned that establishing Patriot production capacity inside Ukraine would be a complex endeavor, involving secure facilities, specialized tooling, supply chains, and weeks or months of work before any missiles could be produced or certified. Warsaw is one of 4 NATO states authorized to receive sensitive technology for Patriot missile production, positioning it as a key regional partner in any effort to expand Allied air defense manufacturing capabilities. Poland has signed an agreement with the United States, Germany, the Netherlands, and Sweden to set up a PAC-3 hub, a cooperative framework meant to streamline production, maintenance, and logistics for the Patriot family of systems. The deal envisions a European service center to support missiles used in Patriot air defense systems, providing repair, refurbishment, and technical sustainment to keep stocks operationally ready across the alliance. Earlier, US President Trump appeared to take allies by surprise with a public promise to supply Patriot systems to Ukraine, a pledge that triggered rapid consultations about feasibility, legalities, and the necessary industrial steps to fulfill such a commitment.
One of the things we're going to be talking about is, as you know, we have great power over the companies. Those companies that make the Patriot and make all of the great stuff, the Tomahawks, all of the great stuff. We have the best stuff. Many things. The Patriot's great, but we have many, many great things. You see that with Venezuela. You see it with Iran. Look, Iran has been wiped out. Iran, their Navy's gone, their Air Force is gone, everything's gone. But one of the things I think we're going to be talking about today, a little birdie told me this, about the fact that we'll give them the right to make Patriots. We'll show them how to do it. It's very complex, actually, but you'll figure out the complexity quickly. And we're talking about that, and the company that makes them, which is building now 4 plants, all of our companies will be able to do this in 2 to 3 months. If you order a Patriot, now you have to wait a long time for them. Same thing with Tomahawks. We have a lot of certain equipment, but they call it the elite equipment, and you don't need elite equipment necessarily for a war. But so one of the things we're going to be talking about is we're going to give a license to you to make Patriots. That's pretty cool, right?
Russia has repeatedly warned Kyiv's Western allies against supplying long-range missiles to Ukraine, saying such deliveries cross a red line and risk dragging those states deeper into the conflict. Moscow has argued that nations providing these weapons would be complicit in any Ukrainian attacks on Russian territory that use their missiles, raising threats of retaliation and diplomatic consequences.